With the arrival of Dr. Doom with Valeria and the skies turning black, the island is in grave danger. There are so many different things we need to talk about today for the storyline, so let's get started with Dr. Doom's arrival. The first thing we need to do to understand how and why Dr. Doom is here, we have to go all the way back to Chapter 5, Season 1, where Valeria found Pandora's box and brought it up from its hiding spot. No one knew why she did this, but skip to Season 3 and the Wanderer shows up to scout out, and he finds where Pandora's box is. He destroys its hiding spot and it reveals that it was hiding underneath the nitro rig. This is where we see who the Wanderer is, and it was actually Dr. Doom. By the way, for some reason in the comics, Dr. Doom ended up dating a girl named Valeria. Do you think there's a chance that this was all planned, or was it a coincidence? Maybe Valeria brought the Pandora's box up specifically so Dr. Doom could come and get it later. But this isn't the only thing about Dr. Doom at all. Doom is being pulled towards the box similar to how Hope was last season. Doom realizes how dangerous it is, and there's more to that in a moment, but right now we need to talk about how Dr. Doom dreams to turn this island into an island of perfect order. Take a listen to his voice lines.
I am building my new kingdom. This place reeks of failure, of fault, of imperfection. But it will not be this way for long. I will set this place to order. I will make it perfect. I feel nothing but vacant. Hunger. It must be the box. It is exhilarating. But it is also wild, chaotic. Using the box again, without my armor appropriately upgraded, would be unwise. My work nears completion when all is reborn in my perfect image. I will never fail again.
Doom realizes that without a better pair of armor, it wouldn't be smart to open the box again, so now it's up to us to get to him before he gets his new armor. These aren't the only voice lines. We will continue the rest in a moment because they belong to Hope. But there's more on Doom for now. Dr. Doom steals the power of the Pandora's box, the power that belonged to Hope, according to the Oracle. He steals the power and drains the box completely. Now the box lies there with nothing. It is completely empty. And then we see him take over the island, with prisons and palaces all over the place. A funny secret about the prison is that in the trailer, we can see Chaos Agent who was put in jail. This is just a funny detail that hardly even matters, but something that does matter is Jones's recovery. By the way, that isn't all of Doom's storyline. We still have a few more things to explain, like the fact that he is looking for something, but we will talk about that after. By the way, subscribe if you're enjoying. Back to Jones's recovery. All of Chapter 5 so far, Jones has had some serious trouble. It started with him with a new rough look, and of course the society kidnapped Peely, Jones's best friend, and this made Jones more annoyed. He eventually got Peely back, but now in Season 4 he seemed to make a recovery. He shaved his beard, showing that he seems to be doing better, and looks a little happier now. Not that we didn't like the beard before because it kinda looked cool, but still, this is good. But the reason he is doing better is because he realized that Hope is in a situation quite like he was. All the struggle and weight of saving the whole world is on her shoulders, and all Jones wants to do now is help her. Also, we can't ignore the fact that he is Captain America. The interesting thing is that in a loading screen it explains this. Steve Rogers literally left his shield for Jones in the underground, as we see in this loading screen. So basically Dr. Doom is here and Jones decided he wants to help Hope defeat him so that way our island is safe. Speaking of Hope though, that leads us to our next topic. Hope has a new look. Personally, I like the old one a little bit better, but this one seems more angry with Dr. Doom for stealing Pandora's box. By the way, this isn't the only thing we're talking about today. We still have many secret storylines to explain from this season, like Doom is searching for something very mysterious, and the reason behind why the skies are turning black. Subscribe if you're enjoying, but let's get back to the video. Hope has some interesting dialogues with new characters. It seems that she's almost in her hyped up phase. She says, "Are you ready for the Underground's final ride?" And her name is now Heroic Hope. And it seems like this season will be mostly about getting a good team together so we can defeat Doom at the end of the season. But that's not the only thing. For now, we have some voice lines to listen to, but the Oracle has some interesting things to say. Take a listen.
Doom's off somewhere building himself some new armor. He's using Doombot technology to control his army remotely.
He has to be sending those armor materials to himself. If those shipments have a paper trail, we can use that information to find Doom. And if I find Doom, that's one less thing for Hope to worry about. I've been there. Leading reality's fearless defenders really weighs on a person. She's got a whole army of people on her side.
Have you seen something new? Maybe a way of defeating Doom? I have seen something new. A feline ally. A cunning plan. A victory hidden in defeat. You don't know more? Please, I have to get this right. We've had this conversation so many times.
The Oracle says a feline ally, a cunning plan, a victory hidden in defeat. These are very cryptic, but we know the answer to at least two of them. A feline ally, she is referring to the Tier 100 skin, Shuri. She is here to help us defeat Doom. Now, for a cunning plan, I have no idea what this could be, but for a victory hidden in defeat, I have an idea. Remember what Dr. Doom was saying about the box? He said it would be unwise to open it without having better armor. Well, Hope doesn't have any armor, so maybe Dr. Doom actually saved Hope's life by not letting her open it. Possibly this is the victory in the defeat. The defeat of Dr. Doom reaching the box before us, but the victory of that Hope won't turn evil or die. So now it's up to us, Jones, and Hope to defeat Dr. Doom, and we will finally see how this plays out. But don't forget, the skies are darkening, and Dr. Doom is still searching for something. It's finally time to reveal the secret of the dark skies, and after that we will talk about Dr. Doom again. In Season 2, the Oracle predicted something that made everyone wonder what it meant. She said the skies will darken, and everyone has been looking for what this could be, but we have finally seen what it might be. In-game right now, you can look up and see this smoke coming from somewhere. When we follow the smoke, it takes us to this POI, some sort of huge silo, and it's obviously blowing this weird smoke. But in the trailers, if you look at it, it shows some sort of weird face. In my opinion, it looks like it could be a huge version of Cerberus, but some people have realized that it could be the Marvel character Dormammu. But I don't know enough about it yet, so we are just going to have to wait for a further update for that. But there's still one more thing that we need to look at: Doom's exploration. Doom is on the island and all of his henchmen are looking for artifacts of something. That's what they say, at least. We don't know exactly what artifacts he's looking for, but we do know that he is searching for something. And leaks say that he will make his new set of armor out of the Pandora's box itself. So maybe he is searching for Pandora's box pieces so that way he can make an armor out of it. Now here's some final extra stuff. Stuff you can't really fit into a segment, but is more important to know. Nisha joined Hope's team in the Underground. She wants to help us defeat Dr. Doom. Galactus is somehow here, and you can see him in the distance, but I think he's already been defeated by Dr. Doom. That's not the only one defeated by Dr. Doom though, because Fantastic Four is here, or at least it was. On the island we can see a destroyed Fantastic Four logo, and this seems to be indicating that they were here, and Dr. Doom already defeated them. But there's something else. In Dr. Doom's room we can see his throne, and his throne is made out of the Thing from Fantastic Four. Oh brother, the return of the 0 Point. The 0 Point has been speculated for the whole chapter. Is it here? Did they abandon it? Did it get destroyed in the Big Bang? Well, it turns out that it is still here, and as always, it seems to be hidden underneath the lake in the middle of the island. We have a few things that suggest this. One being this board that was found in Doom's location, which circles this part of the lake, and two, the leaks also mention the 0 Point. This lake has been drying up over the chapter, but why? Some comments that I've seen think that it's Galactus drinking the water because it's gonna be Galactus versus Doom for the event.
Oh, brother!
It most likely has something to do with the 0 points. But Pandora's box has been the focus, so does the 0 point really matter? Well, yes, but we'll get back to that later. For now, we're just going to cover the truth behind Doom's second arrival, because some huge news just came out. At first, it was obvious that Doom was here for Pandora's box, but the truth is, he was here for much more than that. Many have began theorizing that he is here to summon Mephisto so he can get his mother back. By the way, we are covering all of this information so that way we can piece everything together at the end of this video for the greatest live event theory. So just stay tuned until then. So basically, Doom came to the island, collected Pandora's box's power, and then left to prepare. But when he comes back, he plans to summon Mephisto to get his mother back. And then he will shift his focus to the 0 point. In his absence, this left room for Hope's plan. Hope's plan is ambitious. She wants to get revenge on Doom for stealing her power. The Oracle reveals that Hope was supposed to receive the power of the box, but Doom stole it. So Hope is angry. Not only that, but Hope also wants to save the island from Doom. Last time we had a Marvel season, Iron Man clutched up by doing all the smart hard work. He just used the rifts to send Galactus away. And this is the plan again. We have collected rift beacons and placed them around the island. They are all around the countdown in the middle, pointing right towards Doom's tower. These are revealed to be using the 0 points power. And when the time comes for Doom to come back, we will use these to rift him away. But sadly, this won't exactly work in the end. I'll explain that later though. Also, if you're wondering why this will work, apparently the challenges revealed that now with Pandora's box's power, Doom has the ability to be a giant. So pretty much these beacons can just aim anywhere in that direction and it'll pretty much hit him. We've been using this whole time that Doom was gone to basically prepare. We eliminated Mysterio, who by the way had a mind control over the whole island, making everybody think that Doom was the good guy. As well as, wait, what's her name? I don't remember her name, I won't even lie. But we got rid of her. But there's one more detail about Hope that is extremely important. There is a new style for her skin, and it is called, get this, Pandora's Chosen. This is very similar to Doom's Chosen, and also, she's all yellow just like Doom was when he used Pandora's box's power. This all ties back into the Oracle's prophecy. The Oracle revealed in the beginning of this season a few hints to what will happen. She said the skies will darken, which happened. She said there will be a hidden victory in defeat, which hasn't really happened yet. And she also said some other stuff that's a little less important. But the important one is the victory hidden in defeat. This is almost enough information to piece together what might happen during the live event. Before we talk about that though, subscribe, because if we hit 30k subs before Season OG, I'll give away 3 Season OG Battle Passes. I just discovered Fortnite's greatest secrets. There is something huge hidden underneath the island. Not only that, but we also have hints for the return of the 7 and many more things. Let's start this video with Mephisto's plan. Mephisto was summoned by Doom because Doom wanted his mother back, and the only way to do that is from Mephisto himself. But as we all know, Doom was defeated. We rifted him back to reality 616, but in all of this, Doom managed to summon Mephisto. But what is Mephisto going to do here now that Doom is gone? Well, besides turning the water to blood, he's not really doing anything. He seems to be more of just a cool skin, which is pretty disappointing. But something that isn't disappointing is the return of the 7. The 7 went missing in Chapter 3 Season 4 when the Chrome took them. Ever since then, we haven't seen them at all. And that was over 3 years ago. But there is hope for a return soon. The Chapter 3 Season 4 island was randomly added back to the files in this new update. And this was the exact season that the 7 went missing. But to add on to this, the Cuddle Team Leader head was added to the Chapter 5 island. This little area has been extremely important over the seasons. This was first introduced into Chapter 3, and in Chapter 4 it came back as well. But in Chapter 4, this is exactly where Amy told us that the 7 were being corrupted. Do you guys think that this means that the 7 could return? Don't forget that at the end of the video, I am going to reveal Fortnite Chapter 5's biggest secret. Even bigger than the next one. The Titans return. Okay, this one's all theory, but players have begun wondering what could happen for the rest of the season. It is only halfway finished and Doom already has been defeated. There has to be something bigger coming, and some players believe that it is the return of the Titan. The giant Titan that was hiding under our island in Season 1, the one that was keeping Pandora's box. People have begun speculating that the Titan will crawl out from underneath the island and lead us into Chapter 6 somehow. I don't know if this will happen or not, but I have seen some people talk about it. I mean, the Titan's down there somewhere, so he's gotta return, right? Somebody else that's returning for sure is Valeria. This is more of the deeper lore of this chapter. Valeria was a Day 1 story character, but after introducing the Pandora's box, she just left. But there was definitely more to her story. We know that she is sisters with Hope, but that isn't the only thing we know about her. And I have a huge theory. It revolves around why she summoned Pandora's box in the first place. This wasn't done for her, clearly. She summoned it for someone else. If she wanted the box for herself, she would have stuck around long enough to claim it. But she didn't. Why? I think this was because she wanted someone else to find the box. But who? There are two options. She either wanted Doom to find the box, or Hope. Let's start with Doom. Valeria's book was in Doom's castle, leading us to believe that Doom had an interaction with Valeria, and maybe Valeria was working for Doom so he could get the box. Or Valeria wanted Hope to eventually find this box so she would find the true meaning. I mean, Hope went from stopping the society to saving the world. Maybe Valeria had a good idea in mind, but most likely not. She was most likely just wanting to cause chaos. But now for the main part of the video, Chapter 5's secret. This is a huge theory, but every single piece of evidence is 100% true, and I'm just piecing things together that make sense. Before we talk about this, if this video offered some value or entertained you, please consider subscribing and using code PBJ. In every Fortnite chapter, we have been able to see what the island looks like from an outside perspective. But on Chapter 5, we still haven't. Are we on a planet? Are we in a bubble? No one knows. But this was secretly revealed throughout the chapter and no one else has seen it. When we started this whole chapter, the Big Bang happened. But if you go right before then, it was the black hole sequence, just like it was before Chapter 2. Comparing Chapter 5 to Chapter 2 is very important for my theory here. I'll explain why in a second, but that's one similarity to Chapter 2. What else? Well, when we got to this island, there were a lot of Chapter 2 props, even similar landmarks like this crashed plane. Even every season matched somewhat as well. Season 1 was a war between the factions. Season 2, Midas returned. Season 3, there was a flood of water and then a flood of sand. I don't know if that one counts. But in Season 4 was all Marvel. This could just be a coincidence, but things are about to get insane. It's gonna get confusing, so stay with me till the end and it'll all make sense. The name of Chapter 5's island is Helios. In Greek, that means sun. And guess what? The Chapter 2 island name, Apollo, and Chapter 3 island name, Artemis, are closely related to Chapter 5, Helios. But they are also related to one more name. That name is Selene. Selene stands for a moon in Greek. In particular, Helios is related to Apollo, and Artemis is related to Selene. Just be patient, we're getting there. What if the Chapter 6 island's codename is Selene? Let me explain. What happened at the end of Chapter 2? It flipped to Chapter 3. Since Chapter 5 Island is related to Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 Island is closely related to Selene, what if this is a huge secret hint that the Chapter 5 Island Helios, like Chapter 2, will flip and reveal the Chapter 6 Island Selene, similar to how it revealed Chapter 3 Island? Okay, let's pause for 3 seconds just to take a breather. I am claiming that the Chapter 5 island was created similarly to Chapter 2 and that the Chapter 5 has a flip side with Chapter 6 on the other side. But do you want more proof? This one is actually in-game. In Chapter 5 Season 2, there was a character named Nura. This character was a storyteller, and she tells about my exact theory. When you ask about the moon and sun, Sounds familiar, right? She says the moon and sun are playmates, taking chase after one another. It is said that if one ever slows, so does the other. Neither wants their game to end ever. This might not make sense at first, but let's take another look. In my theory, I am suggesting that Chapter 5 Helios has a flip side that leads to Chapter 6 Selene. This story aligns with my theory. With Helios meaning sun and Selene meaning moon, if there was a flip side, the moon and sun would technically be taking chase after one another, because they are facing opposite directions. They are literally connected. If one ever slows, so does the other. Back to back, the islands spin, and the moon and the sun never face each other because they are connected, facing opposite directions. There's one more thing that connects this. A character closely related to Nu-Ra is Anwar. This character also talks about the moon and sun. His says the moon and sun are siblings. And when you look in Greek mythology, Helios is siblings with Selene. This confirms that we're talking about Greek characters, but is it really confirming that Selene will be the Chapter 6 island and that the Chapter 5 is just half of the flip side? Well, I don't know, but that's part of the theory. But we still have one more question. How will we get to Season OG? We thought about how we will get to Chapter 6, but how does Season OG fit into all of this? We are supposed to go back to Chapter 2 for Season OG soon. What will we do to get there? We don't really know yet. Chapter 5's secret live event is almost here. This live event is codenamed Kiln, K-I-L-N, which honestly could mean anything. To me, it sounds like the words kill him, but players have realized that it also means furnace. That is important, but it's nothing compared to some of the other leaks in this video. A few weeks ago, we had the Dr. Doom live event. But now, Fortnite is surprising us with another one. This is going to be a fully original live event, unlike the past few seasons, which have been mini events. This event will have some insane storyline, map changes, and a lot more. But players have realized that Fortnite accidentally leaked the event early, and the community is not very happy about what they saw. In Fortnite's recent blog post, it says this: when Fortnitemares 2024 nears its end, Rave Mellow will enter the shop to remind you Fortnitemares is only just the beginning of the end of year party. Players think that this means the event will be a Marshmello concert, similar to how Eminem had one last time, and everyone is so mad. Personally, I don't think this will happen, but Fortnite finally is giving us teasers for Season OG 2, and let's just say this isn't too far off. But we'll get to that later in the video. For now, what will happen during the live event? We all know that Season OG 2 is coming out right after the Chapter 5 ends, but the Chapter 5 finale will decide how we get there. I think I have some good ideas though. There are two ways we could possibly get to Chapter 2 OG from this. Our first option involves Midas. Remember when Midas came to the island? Well, one day he just took his boat and left. There's a good chance that he took his boat to Chapter 2, and maybe he will lead us to Chapter 2 OG. In Chapter 2 OG, we have leaks that there will be a live event including the device event from Chapter 2 Season 2. So this is very likely that Midas will be there. But what is our second option? Well, Fortnite might have a surprise for us, because this event was leaked to have 6 stages. We don't know what the first 5 stages are, but we do know what the 6th stage is. And you won't believe it, it is the black hole. How would we possibly get to the black hole though? The only time we've ever gone to the black hole was when the 0 point was under so much pressure that it exploded. But we haven't seen the 0 point in years, so does this mean that it will finally return, or is this some sort of name placeholder for a to be continued sign? But we still do have a few more theories of what could happen during this event. And make sure to stay until the end of the video, because Fortnite dropped some official next season teasers, and you don't want to miss them. There's another thing that might happen during this live event. Let's take a look back all the way to Chapter 5 Season 1, when this giant hand came out of the ground that was holding Pandora's box. Well, the rest of this Titan has to be somewhere, right? So what if it's still underground? And what if during this live event the Titan returns? And what if it takes us to Chapter 2 OG? In the last live event, Doom lost to us and was rifted to a different reality. But everybody's wondering the same question. Will he return? Some players think he will return, but others think not. When you go up to the Mephisto NPC, he mentions that Doom is gone for good, but maybe he's not telling the truth. Speaking of Mephisto, there's a chance that he has something to do with this event. Not a big chance, but a small chance, so we'll just have to make sure we watch out for it. Okay, but this next one's crazy, because Chapter 3 was just added back to the files, and now everyone is theorizing that the island will feature in this event. But there's an even bigger hint for that. On the island, there's a new landmark, the Cuddle Team Leaderhead. This was first added to the game in Chapter 3, and now it is back. Something else interesting is that in Chapter 4, this is where we found out that the 7 had gone missing and were being corrupted. But with Chapter 6 right around the corner, there has also been some leaks for that too. On the roadmap, players have found that the image used for Chapter 6 actually looks like it has some floating islands on it. I have always wanted a floating island themed map. Maybe we'll actually finally get it. There's one more leak for Chapter 6. Before I tell you, subscribe if you're enjoying and if this video has brought you any value, and go ahead and use code PBJ in the item shop as well. Back to the video. A survey with a ton of skins just came out, and they all have the same logo on them, leading us to believe that there will be some sort of superhero theme in next chapter. Fortnite just teased Season OG 2, and that's not even what it's called. It's actually called Season Remix Chapter 2. Before we get into these pins, which reveal a lot, let's talk about whatever this is. If I'm not mistaken, this is a cassette player. And guess what Fortnite also gave them? Yeah, you guessed it, a cassette. Well, what does it play when you put it inside? This was remixed by Marshmello, and it's the Spy's music theme, telling us exactly what this remixed season will be focused on. But let's take a look at these pins. We have a normal pin for Sludge, a Boogie Bomb, a Shark, a Boombox, Misty Meadows, but the others are definitely more interesting. We have Midas's hand, indicating that he could be coming back in this. We have a Butterfly, which is very odd. Not sure what that will do here. And then we have our first look at the Battle Pass skins. We have a Meowscles mixed with Midas, which is very interesting. And then we have one more, which is a TNTina reskin. It seems like this is very heavily focused on Chapter 2 Season 2. I hope that it hits some of the other seasons as well, but there's one more season that looks like it's being teased. If you look at the background, this looks exactly like the Sideways, which was in Chapter 2 Season 8. That was the same season where the last reality came, tried to destroy our island, and then we flipped the island. Something that everybody was wondering and honestly worried about was, will Hope come with us to the Chapter 2 and Chapter 6 islands? Because she seems pretty attached to the Pandora's Box and the Chapter 5 island and everything like that. So was there an opportunity for her to stay back? Well, on these teasers, we could actually see the Hope's cat logo. And I believe that this is indicating that she will be there with us. So at least we get to keep our main character, Hope and Jones, together during this story. The content for Fortnite is kicking into overdrive. We have the Chapter 5 finale, Season OG live event, Chapter 6 Season 1, Winterfest, and I'm sure there's going to be many more things in between there. I will be doing a Battle Pass giveaway for Season OG if we can hit 30,000 subs before Season OG. I think we're at 29,000 right now. We're just about there. And if you guys use code PBJ, I'll also do another giveaway for V-Bucks. And on the right, you can recap on the whole Chapter 5 storyline. I'll see you guys there. Use code PBJ.